Listen. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Get that out of there. What is going on, everybody? Good afternoon if you're in the States. Good evening if you're across the pond. Good morning if you're watching this on the playback. That applies for both the afternoon and the evening. But yes, thank you for tuning in and listening. It's your boy, Matty-Rants. This is about the Traitors. I have spent a couple of days on this one here. I was supposed to do this video in an edited format, but a lot had happened over the last couple of days, especially with my car and trying to get it taken care of prior to this big winter storm that's supposed to be hitting a couple of states, but in particular, my city is going to be hit really hard. So I'm a little nervous because I got to get a new battery and I got to get this air intake hose thing done. But the battery is the most important prior to the storm hitting the weekend. So I have been running around trying to get things taken care of. YouTube hasn't paid me yet. So I'm nervous. But yes, we have got a lot to talk about today. And I'm going to try my best to be fair, but I have some opinions and I have some feelings and I want to get them off my chest. I'm wearing my Bianca Del Rio shirt today and it says baloney. Baloney, it says. And baloney for sure is how I feel about one person in particular. I am going to give you a completely different opinion on Ron. And you know I wasn't feeling Ron these last couple of episodes, but I'm afraid I have to stand next to him. Oh, yes, because I'm tired for you, Ron. I'd be tired for you. You have been dragged along. And low-key talked about to some sort of level of almost like you're a micro gnat, if you will, with these people. And yet they are very much inclined to have you tell them your personal business so they can start to trust you a little bit. Dorinda, you deserve that smoke at the table. And it's that privilege that you felt from the previous season when you were eliminated so early for you being who you are and where you're from and these franchises and expecting people to know you, which I find so interesting. That didn't apply to some, but it does to others. You got what you deserved there. No one needed that harshness. I also have that smoke for Maura. You have an aggressive tone, young lady, when you were talking to Ron at that table. You talk about passion versus defensiveness. No, baby, you were very defensive. And you are like that every time your name is said and all. And I would be too on a show like that, but let's not mix it up. Let's not mix it up a little bit. Jam Jam's the same kind of way when it came to Miss Tiffany. I don't like your tone. You were very much that kind of girl for the last couple of episodes, if you will. I like Jam Jam, but let's call it what it is. Like, you also a little sensitive mother. Shut your mouth, Matthew, but I need to keep on going. No one wants to be taken out the house, but let's be clear. When people get at the table and they start to like zoom in on someone and they go, well, that person's getting too emotional over it. It's all of you hoes. What are you talking about? There's only a few of them really who are not showing their cards like that in a sense. And no one's really asking those questions. But today is the day that we get into these last two episodes. I will be dragging Colton. So if you are a fan of that man, too bad. As a primetime member of the bent wrist community, as someone who has had to live in the closet before and had to come out, was forced out actually, did not get to do it on television or possibly to an audience of so many people on television, all this, that, and the other. I am going to actually be on Michael Rappaport's side. Gag. Because someone used something that they knew they could use against somebody who has a mouth like that to a room that was already sensitive over the cute one. And I do say there's a pretty privilege that has been put in place here. In this, there is a popularity contest, but I saw right through that. And if you think at that round table, I would have allowed them hoes to sit up there and go, well, no, that was, I said, now Michael said what he said, and it was definitely geared in the direction of pay attention, therefore, but I can tell you it wasn't meant to be that. And y'all played that because you were just ready to get that man out. And then that boy used that as a way of doing so, if you will. He even said before the round table, I'm going to let you get yourself out. Wake up. I don't like him. He reminds me of Zac Efron's brother, and they had that same smugness of, well, and it's just so annoying to me. You may not agree, and that's okay. That's why we have these reviews, and that's why we're talking about it today. So let's go ahead and get on with it, because justice for Tiffany. Colton was threatened by her. That's it. That's the reason why she went home. He was threatened by her, not because she was a traitor. I'm going to break it down for you how that boy needs people to listen to him, for him to trust them. And if he's the one that's guiding the charge, then it all makes sense. But if anybody else has anything to say, it's always again, I'm gonna get you there. Wait for it, because I'm gonna walk you down. I'm gonna walk you through the woods. All right. Because that Lisa comment he made at the end of, she would be somebody that needs to play with me. I said, as suspicious as Lisa is, and I get all of that, that statement, bing, 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 bing. Kristen clocked it. I love Kristen from Top Chef. She clocked it. I was like, pay attention to that man, because he's clearly needing to be the one in charge that gets the praise, that needs to be boosted and lifted. And I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I would just get him out. Just to get him out at that point, because now you're doing a Michael, but you're doing it in the opposite direction of, please look at me, and oh, I've had such a hard life. I literally just came out on television. I was a football player. I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm really going through. Anywho, the way a lot of people wish they had the coins hot as they had when they were forced out the closet, girl, there was a privilege that came as well with whatever happened with you. Please do not knock that. And that's the part that's pissing me off a tad bit, because he's acting like he went through the same kind of struggle a lot of us others went through in reference for that. And no, it was not nearly the same. Anywho, let's get to it. It's at Matty-Rants everywhere except for Twitter, which is X, is at the Matty-Rants. You can find that all my Linktree link in the About section of this YouTube channel, as well as my other spaces and places you can go find me at. I do reactions on Patreon. I have each and every one of these episodes of Traitors up on my Patreon right now. So if you want to get into that, go ahead and subscribe over there for as low as $1 a month. I will be up raising the subscriptions to $2. The economy's crazy, y'all. Put a lot of videos I'm putting up there. There's now over 700 plus videos you can watch. I have to raise it up by another $1, but I'm going to give that announcement soon. And of course, put a date for that. It won't be immediately. It'll probably be going on, since it's so close to the end of January, going into March, more so for that. But I just got to be a little bit more fair in reference for me. I'm already doing it for a very low amount, but the Patreon is available for your consumption. Also, I am bookable on Cameo, merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. And I do have a PO box if you want to send anything special to. I'm also an affiliate partner of Paramount Plus. You can get a free week on me. And there's a Discord if you want to be a part of the Ramp Pack community and join us for the live conversations that are off topic, on topic, gaming, all that, this, and the other. Join me over there on the Discord. Now, I started this off just already talking some cash, whatever. I'm going to continue to do so, because this is what my channel. This program's for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to blind any religion, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. No matter what you say, no matter what you write, it's not, okay? All opinions expressed by myself, they're just my sole personal views, and do not reflect the opinions of every human on the planet, and no hate should be sent to any of the shows or individuals mentioned on this program. Yes, me even talking about it on here, it's not hate. I'm not sending it to them. I'm just giving my opinion. If I was sending them hate, I go into their actual DMs, child, or tag the person to come find me over here. But if they're actually looking for this, then that's what they got. I hope you know the difference. Thank you. I don't look for my shit. People had a lot to say about me. Welcome to the welcome. If you're walking out the door, you already know what's up. You ain't ready for my mouth. Grab your libations and strap in. I'm a little bit of a talker. You may be here for a while. Please don't post these in the chat. And if you feel uncomfortable reviewing this program, consume some Activia and have yourself a good old nasty boot. taking my time adjusting myself today. Yeah, because I'm gonna be talking. We're not gonna be here for a very long time. I believe I can get through these 2 episodes in a nice quick hour. But I'm just gonna break down a couple of the big highlights as I run through the episode. And my feelings on that roundtable from episode 4 and how 5 went the way it went. Okay. Some people know how to deal with crazy. And that's what episode 5 was. Episode 4, another story. We're going to get into that. But I find it very interesting how the one person from the Drag Race franchise on the last several seasons of this show, when we have found our way onto this show, have always been eliminated so early. And it's starting to bother me a tad bit. And I understand why Monet got eliminated. My alarm. Because I thought I was going to do this at 4. But something about that does not sit in my spirit. Why, in particular, and you're going to hate it, but this statistics are there. Black and queer. Gone very early. Now, on queer, white and queer, that's a different story. Goes a little bit further. But I am annoyed by that. And you can argue because Bob did yes. Monet, well, but Peppermint, that's the one I get to really hold up there for you. We can argue the other two. That one I get to really hold space for because that was so unnecessary. All right. Because I really do just want to just go off and start yelling, but I can't. We've done this for too long. We could have a better conversation. But listen, if you want to throw any love in my jar, please and thank you. Right now there is a winter storm coming, and we need to get ourselves prepped and prepared. And I still haven't even been paid by YouTube yet, which super shucks. I got to get a brand new battery for that car. If you want to throw any love, you do not have to, but if you want to, please and thank you. It is PayPal.me/Matty-Rants, Cash App, $Matt924, and then Matty-Rants. Anything and everything is super appreciated. And thank you for just being here. So if you are not tipping, then that's fine. The thumbs up button literally is free. Please hit that, as well as getting in the comment section and letting me know your thoughts on this week's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. For those of you who are here today, I know everything is the way that it is right now, and there's a lot going on in this world, and especially out here in the States, from someone who's living in the States right now. So sending my love to those of you who are in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I wish and pray for your protection and safety through this time, as well as anybody else that may be going through something right now. Trust to believe. It's me too, right? It's all of us. So sending you love out here in this crazy world right now. And let's just hope we continue on. I want to see you tomorrow, just like I want to see you the next day, the next day, the next day. All right, so let's go ahead and get to Traitors. And thank you. That is Game of Thrones music. It's not Traitors, but I just wanted to sing a song like Game of Thrones because it's really good Game of Thrones, but that last season was trash. Who saw the Starbucks cup on the table before someone on Twitter pointed it out? Cersei should have died in a more horrible way with her brother. What the tuck was that? I just wanted to sing this. Okay, we're done. It's a sample of things to come. There are going to be some short videos that are going to be done. There's some character piece work I've been starting to write and put together. My friend has really pushed this for me because they're like, you do a whole lot of characters. You just do not share it with people, and people need to know that you're freaking talented, Matt. So I'm like, okay, let's focus, Pam. So we're going to go there and we're going to try to do something like that. But yeah, anywho, the Traitors. It's Traitors. Thank you, Tita Bruder, for Tippy Boo of the Day. Appreciate you, babes. Because I'm a faithful. Thank you for the Tippy Boo. I appreciate it. Okay. after episode 4 and the full, murder in your face, we find out that Caroline is the one who ends up getting the murder and the axe from the traitors face to face. Mind you, that was already a gag because it's Lisa Rinna and Candace who are housewives, but they were trying to do something to throw anything off, their tracks with Rob, right? Now, Monet has a great idea of everybody who they know who was up for murder the previous night. Ask them what they heard and, give their best description to see if anybody could be lying or doing whatever. When Ron comes in, let's be very real. The way that they treat Ron. And again, I do see Ron's little sympathy bit as well. Not going to lie. It just may be how he's carrying himself. And I think the reason why I'm not so heavily on to that anymore. I was, if you remember how I did my review, I was like, Ron's playing this game and it was annoying. And we saw him even saying, well, I'm just going to be like that for one episode, right? It's getting to a point now where they have confused how his woe was me is with him just not being as engaging as the others while still trying to be a faithful and trying to get somebody out. He is not on the right trail. However, it's just the way that they're taking a situation from the first episode and they're using it against him. Please pin that because it is going to apply later to my dragging of Colton. Okay? Just so we're clear. I want to be very clear. That is why I'm putting Ron on my little pillow pal. We're going to pin that because someone's going to do the same thing multiple times and it was wrong. And now what are we doing about it? Like, we're not going to do this today. It's getting a little annoying. And it is giving popularity contests as well as a thing to do with attraction. And I'm going lie on that. But let's get back into it again. Lisa, when she comes back in the room, because mind you, she was supposed to be up for murder, but she is a traitor. Her whole recollection of everything and the retelling of the story. No, we don't. We don't need Colton. I'm gonna give you some great examples why Colton's got to go. It should have been Zac Efron's brother too out the door as well. That money could have been split between better people. I will give you multiple reasons why it's fuck Colton. But like Lisa's retelling of this, oh my God, this should have been a conversation. This lady, hold on, let me get some tea first. Did anybody else need to pause prior to like speaking? No. And several people had been walked in before Lisa. Hold on, I gotta get something. Okay, hold on. Okay, so where were we? No, nobody. We're not pinning it. We're not pinning this moment. Okay. All right. This is that popularity shit. This is that housewife shit. And again, it is good to have people in the same sort of boat as you, especially as you're a trader and your housewife works really good for you. But like it works in that Klein of we're always being targeted and we've always had this happen and blah, 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 and then we're this and we're that and blah, whatever. I'm sitting over here like Dorinda, you dumb bat. Like you're that's my friend, literally sounds crazy, but Ron is the one. Ron's such a traitor because he's over here acting, like he's, oh, what was me? Meanwhile, Lisa can't even pull her story fast enough together to sound like it's cohesive with everybody else. And she's waiting for people to go, yeah, that's what happened. For looking for the nods in the room. Be very real here. I said, how are we missing this? Oh, Eric. Still don't know why you're there. Oh, Eric. Oh my goodness. His story also sounded a little off. That man said 2. Everybody else is on 3 and 4. Like 2 people? But he's like, I heard someone laugh. I remembered everything that man had said, his whole speech, the whole "I'm gonna come and get you" and all that kind of stuff. You better beware. It was very much Goosebumps, R.L. Stein. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Nursery rhyme, Dr. Seuss, dumb stuff like that, right? No one giggled. Maybe in his mind he heard that, and I thought it was so funny. We're gonna get to this round table, and to me, especially because this person was not a traitor, and it's like, don't trust your ear. I believe you. We're gonna talk about that, sweetie. Because no, girl, this was such a dumb thing. I'm gonna hold it over. I'm gonna wait on this. I'm gonna wait for this moment until I just know, because I just know who it is. The thing is, I don't think he thought it was Tiffany to begin with. I think he was waiting for somebody to say somebody's name to where he thought that the laugh could have came from someone in the same sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people he thought it was. And then when it was like, oh, that's who we're going for, it's her. That's what I think that was. That's why I was like, no, you weren't for sure. You were not for certain that was that lady's laugh. That wasn't the little chuckle at all. You assumed that you heard a seasoned holler from somebody. So I'm going to just go ahead on out there and say you thought either Monet, Candace, who else is black on the show? Tiffany. If we're just going to do that, because I'm over here going, listen, I want the Traitors to win this season. I don't want anybody else to win but the Traitors. I'm enjoying Candace. I'm enjoying Rob. Lisa's fucking up. So if Lisa gets got and they have to switch somebody in, I'm fine with it. But as far as the Traitors winning are concerned, oh, it's Candace and Rob all the way to the end for me. They are doing an excellent job as Traitors. Even when people are suspicious of Rob, it is gone. Whew. It's like, no, it's not Rob. We're out. We're we moving around on that. Candace ain't nobody thinking about her. Like, she's doing an excellent job at this. And Rob plays the room so well. I'm so proud of him. Every time he's in the room and they start having these conversations about other people, he never gives a tell. He's so deadpan in his expression sometimes, but in that mind, he's over here going, oh my God. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to run that back. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say this. And then he asks the right questions to look like a faithful, but also to almost, how when people say something and then when you ask the question, you're just reiterating it back to them to see if they're going to say the same thing. Rob does that very well. Very well. I think Michael's a traitor and this is Rob. So you honestly believe that Michael's a traitor? You think it's him and you're going to go for him tonight? Wow. That's what makes me crackle and cack, because it's very just reassuring the person who's already on their thought by asking them a question that basically already emphasizes that, guess what? You're right. You should go this route because, whoa, you're thinking him and you think you're going to say him? Really? I think I should do it too. Give me a break, bro. But it's so funny because he does it every time with these people and they're not clocking it. They're not picking up that he's always just reaffirming, reassuring, reiterating what they say in a question. What? You think that person? Oh, wait, you saw them at the table doing it? Really? I didn't like him on Rob. I didn't like him on Love Island either. George, I did not. I was not a big fan of him on Love Island. He got on my nerves. But this game is kind of perfect for him, if you will. I don't want to say he's, conniving, backstabbing individual. Or what did Michael Rappaport say? That's not the actual word that he needed to use, but commiserating. I could not believe it. I'm watching it in my reaction, and y'all saw me go, that's not the right word. Before even Rob clocked him, I was like, that can't be the correct commiserate. I just started giggling. I was like, I just know that is not what that word is, what he's meaning by that. Conniving, yes, all that, go for it. But he was just looking for things that rhymed and sounded good together. A horrible shit talker. You don't even know what's coming out of your mouth. Isn't that something? Anywho, Caroline was eliminated, and Lisa Rinna kind of enjoyed this a little too much, in my opinion. Can you imagine seeing that face with that lighting? Oh my God. a scare. Viewer beware. I feel like I'm looking at the Haunted Mask book. Why am I on goosebumps today? That poor girl. No, but Lisa was like, bye-bye. Back to Dubai with you. Caroline talking about, I'm gonna see you at BravoCon. No, you're not. Yeah, because she's not on the shows no more. She just shows up if they ask her if she wants to like still hold that, because she don't do nothing with Bravo. She under that Peacock umbrella though. Come on, NBC. But yeah, Caroline. I was kind of sad to see Caroline go. She was kind of fun to watch this on this show. I don't really care for her on Dubai, if I'm going to be honest with you. I did like her in Ladies of London when she was on that, but I did enjoy her on the season. I just wish we could have spent a little bit more time, but I felt Lisa was a little over the top with this one. Candace just was straight with it, like, you talk too much and you were kind of like getting close to it, so we had to let you go. This was just a lot from Lisa. I thought to myself, like, okay. But yeah, Caroline was gagged and we kind of weren't. By Caroline. So they have to go into their next challenge to get some cointadas and some money. And it's one of those where it's like, baby, we have to do it all or we're not doing it at all. You know, you got to get as much in as you can get in. You know what I'm saying? So listen, this is where my beginning of, okay, Colton, what the fuck are you talking about? They're thinking of Ron still, y'all. Michael Rappaport for sure, but Ron. Okay, that is where the brain is. That's what they're like, it's giving, we've strung him along. It's time to let him go. We feel like he's just bait for the traitors. Let's just get him out. Okay? The next thing you know, as if Erica Kirk made a stage for this man to sit down on and talk about his journey through this girl. What? First of all, Tiffany, I'm making a big move. I'm going for Tiffany. Why are you going for Tiffany? Because she had a insincere speech about those people that she said she knew when they went home, and who wouldn't want to get another game player out but another game player? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what? And then she listed out these names of people she wanted to go for, as if you haven't done this, as if you haven't gone down the trail and done the same thing, as if you haven't rallied people together and told them, this is exactly who we're going for. Look at what we're talking about here. She laid out the people who she felt were traitors, so everybody would know from her faithfuls, those are the three people she trusts the least. We should be giving an eye out on them. And so Colton decides that that is a suspicious move from Tiffany. And that the speech she gave towards people who she knew personally and wanted to play the game with was insincere. And he's going to make a risk and he's going to take that jump. And you know what? You all are not really like hopping into. He wasn't taking the risk because Tiffany was a traitor. He was taking the risk in terms of, she's probably a faithful, but if she's a traitor, I'm going to look really good. She's more than likely a faithful though, but let's take the swing. That is how I received all of that. Tiffany's actions weren't suspicious compared to other people in the house. You were literally sitting at the table with Lisa Rinna, Detective Colton, and she sat there and gave a pitiful, pissy interpretation of the night's events. And after being asked, yeah, I got to do something here, that didn't pick up on you? That didn't read or receive as something weird? This is episode 4. We're going to get to episode 5 when he starts to talk about Lisa, but that's what I'm talking about. Work from 3 to 4 to 5 before you even think about Lisa. And the way you thought about her later was because she wasn't working with you. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, wake up. Wake up. Something about that boy ain't right. Okay. He's doing his job as a faithful, of course, trying to get a traitor out, and he was right about Donna, okay? However, it is who and how he is targeting now and the pattern of behavior that I'm having an issue with. That is what I want people to understand. And another thing, too, about this is that the folks that have come to the defense of some of these people who we may not be liking, and it's like, damn, you're not like glazing them like we are. Like, you just hate the show. You just hate the show. They could say the same thing if they didn't like Tiffany about us, like Stan and Tiff and like other people like that, right? I want this to be clear, and you may not hear me, but it is going to be loud enough for it to penetrate, whether you want to receive it or not. Yeah, we're watching a TV show. Your emotions are real. Their emotions are real. They know they're on a reality show as well. This is a game for them, but there's also money at play. You don't know motherfucking people's bills and stuff and everything that's going on in their lives. This is also about having that moment back on television again as this person who has been working in this kind of like field and this, that, and the other. Other people trying to rewrite stories and stuff. Ask Tom Sandoval, now on House of Villains. Hello. So like you can miss me with the whole y'all are taking this a little bit too deeply. No, we're taking this just appropriately, because when this is over, we will all just forget about this and wait for the next season to follow. We will still dislike that person because of what they did on a show. We don't know them personally. Now, if you really want to get into people's outside stuff, like with Colton, we can do that too. Because the streets have been talking. So like, yeah, like if you really want to go there, we could start to go in and out of this show. We can do that, because we're not supposed to. This is supposed to be for entertainment purposes only. But if we're gonna get to that point where we need to defend people, oh, okay, watch where you walk, because I will, as much as I'm gonna give Michael some coots this week, I know he's a shitty person outside this show. And I can say the same thing for Miss Cole. I can't say that for Ron. Ron's doing a bad job, but also Ron's not a bad person. And you can tell that. He's currently not having a great time on the show because he did something stupid and now he's having to pay for it. But there's also a little bit to that and how they are harping on him. And Dorinda having the nerve to talk about, you don't tell me about your family. Miss Thing, you're not obliged to that information. Thank you. Thank you. See, ooh, thank you. Everyone voting unanimously. Like, he literally did not take that charge. Like, he really thought so. Like, let's not act like there were other people at the table, like Candace, for that matter, that were putting in the work that day, too, against Miss Dot. That's the thing about it. It's like, okay. All right, hold on. Come on, Matt. Get back to this episode here. So, listen, they got a challenge that's kind of crazy where they need to go find some spears in the middle of the woods and then bring them back to these statues. It's giving Wicker Man a little bit. Offerings. I don't know who they're offering to, but it's not my God. But I will say that but they got to get these spears and they have to light these offerings on fire. Totems, poles. I almost said totems. Effigies. I do like Effie Williams. She's the greatest. I am chain. I'm kidding. All right. They gotta light them on fire. And when they do that, they get the money, right? And there's how many of them you added up? That's how much money they can get, plus the quintadas for it. I don't feel like adding today. We all watch the show. The problem is, if you light it up, it's someone's name, and then that person can be up for murder that night. Everyone else will be safe. They get paired up into groups and they must go out into the woods and they must go find these spears and do all of that. You do want to get all the money, but you also don't want to be the person who they stick the spear in because, well, you could be murdered that night. No one is paying attention to some of these people and their actions in these moments. And it bothers me to the next level. Yes, I'm going to be staying on Colton. Why is Ron the first one to be lit up? That's the easiest one. That is crazy work. Imagine you being on this show, and for the last several weeks, it has been this. I would be crashing out. I kid you not. I would be crashing out. Everybody would be getting that smoke. There would be no more nice. It would be nothing but I am going to go off as much as possible till you finally just send me home, because we're not about to be doing this all day. And y'all putting this on me and making me seem like I'm just this terrible person. I just won't do it. Because it's really them coming for his character a lot of the times when they're talking about him. You know who doesn't do it as much? Candace. Candace keeps her foot on Ron's neck. She doesn't attack him personally. She be attacking personally now, okay? So listen here. Monet takes her spear. She shoves it into the stomach of Tiffany's effigy, or, totem, whatever you want to call it. I'm still in my DBD phase, so I'm thinking of totems, right? Why Tiffany? I don't understand Monet for doing that one, to be honest. There were so many names up there. So when they did Tiffany, I was kind of like, well, what? What is the point in that? Da, 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 da. Also, if I was Colton, and I also thought about this too, I know they wanted to go for Tiffany, but like her being up for a possible taken out in that moment, to be up for murder, I'm like, baby, I wouldn't have been getting her at the round table. I would have allowed it to be a situation that would have been left between the traitors or not, and then you go off of that sort of information to where if she survives the next day, you now have somewhat of more of a reason to try to come for her. Because to me, it really didn't feel like he had that much information. It felt more personal than it did feel like gameplay style. If anything, in a very, I want to do something very showy for these people, and I'm going to go for someone who they like and they respect and they're scared of, and I'm going to prove that I'm not scared of her. And that was that. And he thought he got slick at that table, and he wasn't. And he tried to roll up it into oh no, she's coming for me and she's being aggressive. I saw all that shit. I was like, wow, this dude is really wild. Interesting. Tiffany wasn't about that bullshit and made sure Monet got that same smoke. And I was here for the way she said, Monet, boom, stuck it in. Tiffany, that was like iconic, to be honest with you. Monet tells Candace that he thinks Lisa is possibly a traitor, and Candace, being a good traitor, tells Lisa that this is happening. So that way she's not taken off guard by Monet maybe asking her questions or thinking about her. Lisa is a scary person. So what does Lisa think in this moment? We got to take out the person who immediately thinks that I'm a traitor. Maura is fucking lazy and entitled. Beautiful woman, lazy and entitled, and a bit of a brat. I'm a little over Maura. And I'll be furthermore over her when we get to this round table and the way she interacted with Ron. And I don't even need to be like, black man, what? I don't even need to do all that. Just how she was acting was a little like, are you okay? You good? Let's work on that. Funny how you're talking about the difference between passion and defense, but we'll get there. I will say, Alan, you have been dragging the babies this season. He even called it, talking about Maura don't really be doing nothing. Like, I get that she's tired, but like, what the fuck? Like, maybe Dorinda could have used some help. She hasn't been carried in a long time. He turned to that camera, bitch. I was hollering. I was like, come on, Alan, give me a good joke. Anyone else notice how Colton didn't want to use the spear if anyone could see him using it? We're not clocking into that. Anytime that they ran up there to do what they had to do, they made sure no one was paying attention when he wanted to do it. But if it was going to be a decision that was made, he was the one that was making it on behalf of his group. And then he would have the others put it in there, giving the smoke to them. For example, Jam Jam. Great example of that. Made the decision. You went, no, I don't want to do it. Yeah, because you can see everybody looking. You don't want to look guilty. Y'all not pick. Hello, wake up. He's literally trying to be the man. And I hate that kind of shit. And it really just drives me nuts. I'm sorry. I cannot stand that dude. Jam Jam. Okay. This is the part where I jump back in and I go, yes, it is a game and we should be playing this. My God, the emotions. The emotions. The emotions of this baby. Girl, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna take me out. Like, girl, what? Colton, it's nothing personal, okay? You know who my target is. I'm really, it's not about you, all right? Like, it's really not that, like Jam Jam, that's the man who made the decision for you to actually be up there. Like, that guy literally put you up there, honey. I want you to know that for sure. Not Mark. Like, you even had to talk to Mark in the car and be like, I know you're not that kind of person, but like it still feels some kind of way. Yeah, so Mark should explain how that went down the whole time y'all were doing this. That he was basically just doing what Colton wanted him to do. T. Like, no one's clocking in. I said, okay, that's fine. Here we go. They bank some money. It's cute or whatever, but a lot of people are going to be up for murder tonight, and they need to get to a round table. Michael Rappaport is nasty and doesn't know how to eat food because that is crazy to have your mouth. Bitch, who eats like this? Who eats like this? You are inside. You are inside. You are inside. A nice house too, a castle, if you will. You're eating like what? Where's the table? Get to a table. What is going on? Y'all, this is wild. I couldn't believe I was watching this man eat like that. That was crazy. The whole plate is in his mouth. Nuts. That's nuts to me. No, here's the thing. I still say fuck Michael Rappaport on all levels, but I'm not gonna lie, there was some truth to him in that episode 5. He was speaking on some facts a bit, but it was the wrong messenger, no shade. As much as I cannot stand him for other reasons outside of the show, like he wasn't bullshitting, if you will, fully for that final little run. He, however, it's because of who he is that we can't take everything he say and put that much value into it, because you remember that the piggy bank is spoiled. That's what's wrong with Michael. Like, he don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just don't get it. But like, looking at this shit right here, that's nasty. I hope he learns. Please. This is you eating like you are on some sort of struggle, and it's crazy. Don't eat like that in public, y'all. That's wild. Please don't eat like that in public. That's wild. I'm gonna look at you nuts. When they're talking about Tiffany, I'm gonna give more some coots here, because this is actually faithful behavior, but it's also on a level of common sense. Rob is like, Colton running around talking about Tiffany. Laura, how? I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was her reaction that made me chuckle, because it was very on what was, for what reason? Like, what would be the reason? Well, he said this, and she's like, okay, yeah, but we got Ron and we got Michael. Like, what are you talking about? The ones who have been consistent on all that sort of level. So I was sort of on her side with this one, where it again is, he just telling y'all that's what he wants to do. Like, he just told you that's how he's going. That's where he's going to go. So we're just all following Colton now. I said, baby. Okay. So now we're sitting here, and Colton is going room to room wherever Tiffany is not. He's campaigning to send her home. He's telling the story of how he feels she's disingenuous, about the whole gamers going away. Who's the best person on a gamer? It's her. It's her. It's her. It's her. And then the fact that, she said all these 3 names, and she said your name. What? That's right. She said your name, Jam Jam. Mind you, Colton is the one that wanted to put Jam Jam in a position to get murdered tonight. And like the followers that some of these people are, they're listening to the person who they find to be the less visually threatening, who seems just so nice and everything about him's wholesome. Those are the ones that get you. Those are the ones that get you. Oh, my tire's flat. Bang in the back. You gonna be in the back seat of somebody's car. In the trunk, baby, giving you a Halle Berry movie 911. Huh. Mm-mm-mm. The way Colton came at Tiffany made me very uncomfortable. And the way he tried to basically assassinate her character on a sense of calling her disingenuous, excuse me, as well as playing it out to her being too aggressive with her play when he has done nothing but the same thing, made me extremely uncomfortable. And there are micro ways of looking at that outside of her being just a Black woman, but if you will, a woman in general. What's wrong with her giving 3 names? What's wrong with that situation for the people who for the people that she knew that were sent home, that she was ready and excited to play this game with? You're turning it into something that it's not. And you know what, Colton? I think you've done that multiple times in your past, and you brought that behavior to the television show. And you proved it in the following episode for me. So I don't like you as a person, and I'm just going to say that. And I mean it. For references, this program is for entertainment purposes only. But for real, yeah, like everything I thought and I knew from the first episode, and y'all heard me in my reaction when I was like, he's putting on that he was a former in this, that, and the other, and he's a gay, but he's in the football. He's doing this a little too much. It's getting a little performative, and it's turning into the now that y'all are good with me, but let me talk about it. Weaponized. Yes, that happened literally. And for those who want to get on that train where you have made your sexuality your personality, you can step back, because a lot of us can see past the black and white of it and can go into the gray. If you didn't see that shit, please miss me, because that was a clear indication of somebody totally taking advantage of that situation from someone who he knows is a time bomb and will just say whatever comes out of his head. He was wrong for saying it, but you clearly used it and abused. I can't say that word. Used it. Okay? You did. You did. And you do that with your life now, especially as a new sissy. Oh, excuse me. Especially as a new one, because that's when you really feel like no one can talk about you, because you haven't been called the F slur enough yet. So you're new to this game still, sweetheart. And you also are mass presenting. So you have a privilege too as you walk through. You are not a punk. You understand what I'm saying? And so you have the nerve to act like you're this girl. Oh, please. You can miss me with that shit. I'm over here watching this TV show and watching this. I want to be a straight man looking girl up here act like she's a fucking victim on this show because she has a whole bunch of clowns around her that very much cater to that. Miss Johnny Weir, while you standing for somebody else like that. Miss Girl, you act that you're the same way. Full sexuality, personality, Miss Thing. You ain't got nothing else past that outside of the actions for the figure skating. And God bless you, but you also were wrong for even opening your mouth and saying in that situation too. And a bunch of y'all trying to look like allies so nobody cancels your ass, when in reality, he's weaponizing that shit. And he was using it in that moment against someone who everyone already had some kind of feeling about. But we're going to get back to Tiffany, because this is about you and women. In that something, Colton, that there's also the accusation stations outside of this show really give a lot to certain things that have happened here, but I'll continue on. I will. You called Tiffany disingenuous, and you said that she's playing the game too hard. And she said that you're stupid and that you're not smarter than her, and you took that personally. And your little comeback, when your eyes damn near found their way to the center, because when you get mad, your eyes do this. Are you saying that because you're a traitor? The elementary school gotcha. It wasn't that girl. Everything she said was true, and you deserved all the smoke. Now, when she pulled this over to Jam Jam, because again, her main base was Michael, Rob, and Jam Jam. So she trying to get back into her game. That was those three. Jam Jam, your little interaction with Tiffany was also interesting because she wasn't talking to you. She just mentioned you at that moment when she was addressing Colton, because that was the name that Colton threw out, your name that she said. And she wanted to keep that narrative going by saying Jam Jam, to which now you want to address her when she wasn't even addressing you. I don't like your tone. We didn't like it either. I didn't like yours either, Jam Jam. You get very defensive and you are very sensitive when you play this game. It was cute on Survivor, but you are not really eating as much as you want to in these coats and whatever you're wearing at these tables. And I'm really getting tired of it either. I still got your back against Mr. Michael Rappaport, always coming for you, man of color. But I'm also looking at you kind of fucking funny because I'm like, what was this about? Like, yeah, she's coming for you and she's calling it and clocking it, but it was the way that you try to run through on it with the whole, I'm gonna write your name down, do all that, this thing. Yes, I see that you are sticking by your ooh because that's what you are. And I've clocked that. And it's okay. It's okay. Let the cutie that you think is cute make sure that you good to go and protected when they're the one that put you up also to be murdered for the same night. But all right, pop off. Protect your tray, girl. I thought to myself, I didn't like all that coming down on her. It didn't make any sense to me. And because she's slick with that mouth and everything that she says, bows, it hits, it's poof. Ooh, you felt that one. Every joke lands. Y'all don't like that. The queens don't like that at the table. Notice how Monet wasn't jumping in on that. Notice how Monet wasn't jumping. Hello. Telling you. Then this is where the whole I'm not doing anything wrong. You're being so aggressive bit comes from, because this is him going, look, I don't want to have to say your name. I'm just telling you I've seen some things and it just looks kind of suspicious, Tiffany. But you came at her way more aggressively. And when she shut your ass down and then clown Jam Jam, you went into the puss mode. And I don't like that. And that's when I knew what kind of person Colton was. That's how I knew. The way you became immediately, this lady was picking on me and I just was saying someone's name because, well, come on, Tiffany. Like, I know. No way. No fucking way, bro. No. You was pumping your chest earlier. Hey, shout out to Ron. I'm going to give you some time, Ron. I'm going to give you some time because you tried to shift that focus quick. And I appreciate you because it was like, why are we talking about Tiffany? No shade. Tiffany had Ron's name in his mouth. And he went to Mora. He said, all right, that's cute. But I had heard some things too when I was sitting over there and the footsteps were light. And I think it may be Mora. I know you all kind of gone on Tiffany right now. And even Tiffany coming for me. Can you imagine that? Tiffany had your name in her mouth and you didn't turn and just do the whole room bit of ganging up. Ron said, I felt that this person had light footsteps and they were walking around me. It was Candace's feet. But he thinks it's Mora because, well, Mora is light, which Mora, I guess I'll take that as a positive. And then tried to give his whole reasonings behind it. And she just overtalked, shut him down, told him to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Why are you being so defensive? Don't confuse my passion. It's passion and not defensiveness. Oh, who do you think you are? The way she dismissed him like that told me enough about her too, especially because she has been carried in this game and she's been fucking lazy and she has not been putting enough effort like everybody else in. And it has been, can I bring up a great example of when they got to Jam Jam and her with the shield in that situation where she didn't want to get off of the chair? Why are you doing that? You're such a big man, Jam Jam. And when Jam Jam did it, he's a traitor. Did you see how he did me like that? All the way he did. Oh yeah, I have got your number, Miss Pritt. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Yeah, I don't like her. I don't like her. Oh my God. The person who I never knew who they were at all until this show, and I still don't know where they're from, is going to tell me that they, because of their background and their music knowledge and what they do for a living now, that they can tell us whose laugh they heard and confirmed. Mind you, that was a whole confessional moment. And then we get to the round table and now we're having this conversation. Ooh. And he's like, it was Tiffany. And I'm thinking to myself, what? And why? Huh? Music genius. And I'm glad that Tiffany said you might need to find another career. You might need to, especially after what happened on top of that. But like, I'm telling y'all, this blew my mind. And it's crazy that Candace is a fucking traitor, bro. And she's literally trying to defend her friends and make sure her people are still in a competition with her, where they can easily start to figure out that she is the motherfucking traitor as much as they trust her. Do you understand me? Candace, this is, I'm so proud of you, but I'm also like, this is dangerous in a way, because she's always coming to the defense of certain people, not everybody. And then what looks really good for her is that she stays on Ron's neck, as she has been doing on behalf of Portia being eliminated. And again, her reasons are, in fact, just because there was a mess up here, and then we get back to these tables, and it always feels like you're redirecting. It is also the way she words it to him and her tone. Even if she is interrupted and she has to stop them and correct them, her tone is so good. It is not rude or condescending. It does not come off in certain kinds of way. She gonna throw a little slick jab in there on you, but it's how she does it. I think that's from her pageant background, where Candace is really like putting in that work on how to like return volley without eating someone up. Now, when it came to Potomac, she was dealing with Giselle and them, so it was like, nah, fuck all that, burn them bridges down. But like, it's a little bit different here. She's sticking up for the faithful. She's doing her job as a traitor. And you're doing it well, especially for the people who you know are the faithfuls. And it's like, why are you all doing that, you guys? And then when it happens, it just makes her look even more leveling up. And I was here for it, but this also came on a personal level, because Tiffany was in here doing this for her son and trying to get him through college and taking that burden off. And y'all know how much fucking school is, okay? Like, this got personal, because it is the way that Colton framed her as being disingenuous, and then calling her almost a manipulator, if you will, and trying to control everyone so that they're all off the track, and she's a lying traitor. And Tiffany's taking it personally, because it's like, I'm not just doing this for shits and giggles right now. I'm doing this for a lot. And the way that you're painting me out to be, and now I got to talk to you like this when I wasn't even thinking about you like that, is crazy. That's why she was emotional. That's why it felt kind of like fucked up, because it's like, where is this coming from? And there was no conversation to be had with her to give her a heads up here. This was all blindside work. This was all, I'm running around to everybody, telling them what I'm going to do, and everyone is prepared for how I'm going to handle you. And then they're going to see me go off on you, but yet I've already prepared them for how it's going to be. He was getting ready for this. He said it was going to be fun. Do you understand me? This man was like, this is going to be a good time. Like, he was excited that he was going to get this woman out. And I don't think it's because she was a traitor. I think it's because he just didn't like the fact that she was going to be competition in terms of being able to do the job well and clocking somebody. And he wants to take it all. And if she's a traitor, then he did his job. But you know what? She's kind of getting in my way. And I stand by that. And I don't care what you think. She didn't, there was no traitor behavior from her. There was none from Tiffany. What? I just thought that was such a, the way he played it, it just made me so uncomfortable, bro. I really did. I don't want to drive that nail too deep, but Dorinda is there to help that happen with how she came to Ron, and once again made it about him not opening up to her personally and telling her his business and making himself feel very closed off. That's really wild how that's being used on Ron, when in situations we can pull up from the history of things that have happened when people ask for information about us and then take said information and manipulate and twist it when a room is already around them that doesn't believe who they are. And let's say you give some information that says some person doesn't really like agree with or possibly finds a little bit strange or odd, and now you're telling that story to everybody else. That's what the fuck Ron was talking about, when it's already being given that you don't care for him and you want to see him go home. So what would be the whole purpose and point of now him telling you his personal business to make you feel more assured? Because all you have to do is go, as much as you said those things that I found to be great, it's still, you said the thing about Portia and she was my fellow housewife and I have to say her name. Save it. And she's going to get it way worse later, because this was the first time she brought it up. And he was kind and gracious this first time. I'm glad Ron gave her no smoke. That's why I don't like people coming at him right now, because I'm like, yo, he was nice to her the first time she tried it. The second day, wrap. That was it. And she got defensive because he started clocking her. And he rightfully so started clocking her, because it's like, why is she always coming at me? Why are you not bringing my name up in this? Everybody else talk about me too, but you also need to be, when you speak up, it's only for me. You barely speak up for anybody else, Dorinda, but me, oh, you got something to say, because that's her for sure bet, right? Like, come on now. Tiffany, and it wasn't unanimous, but Tiffany's name ended up being the one they chose. And Tiffany gave one of the greatest speeches I felt from this show, especially with that "y'all don't deserve me." Ooh. But these faces. I'm so excited to get her out. This is not We Got a Traitor. This isn't that. This is him to Eric, thanking him to backing him up. You did your job. Thank you. Eric, I hope we got a traitor. That's what Eric's thinking. But this one, that one there, nah. his whole bit is, I'm nervous. Yeah, like, because again, this is not about that. This is I wanted to get her out, and that's that. I'm sorry, that's that. Is really that. Like for real. Even when they find out that she's not a traitor, his reaction tells me so much. Like, it's not really shock. It's not really this, that, the other. It's very, oh. Look at Eric, though. This is why Eric gets a pass. Mm-hmm. Hey, Steve. Thank you so much for the tippy poo on Cash App. Little today for a long time watcher, first time tipper. Oh, thank you, Put and Pop. And thank you so much for the tippy poo. It's going towards a new battery because I got to put it in before this winter storm. I'm scared, y'all. Shoot. Also, I got trying to go to the grocery store before it gets bad, because it's supposed to start on Saturday morning. So I feel like Friday is going to be hell on earth at the grocery store. So I'm trying to go tomorrow, but I also got to get the battery. And I'm just like, YouTube ain't paid me yet. So we'll see what happens. Put it in the air with God with me, because I've been over here praying. But thank you, Steve. I appreciate you. I love. That's the look of Eric realizing why his music career is not hitting the way he wants. And you know what's crazy? Eric took the brunt of that initially whenever this ended. And Colton very much like almost wanted to be like, well, no, it was me. I was the person who did it, when everyone was telling him it was Eric and what he said that made that happen. And he kind of lightly dusted off that responsibility. And I'm glad Michael clocked in. And this is the moment when Colton said, we got to get Michael out. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Because Eric over here is the one that looked like the biggest fool, because people chose to believe that his profession is what made him give a correct clue about it being Tiffany, when in reality, he didn't know who it was until Colton told him that he was going for Tiffany's ass. And then when Colton presented the things that he did and then came off looking like, like this, well, Tiffany's being big and mean, that's when his friend needed to step on in and save him with the, well, let me help him out because this is what I think happened. Hello. And so Michael is like, I'm so sorry. Are we not like clocking in that this person, and that we've got people who are just leading brigades and sending people home, and there are people who are faithfuls? Like, what's happening right now? This man is literally sending people home. Michael Rappaport is saying that. Isn't that crazy? I was like, and it's once again Colton. Look at him, beat red in the face because he knows he's been caught in his bullshit, sitting there talking about, look, I didn't want to have to do all of that. And I'm just going off of the things that I said. But you also have told everybody who you think is a traitor. You've given people multiple names before as well. You have campaigned for people to go home. And you use that as an example against Tiffany? And then chose to take some of her personal feelings towards others and manipulate it into something that was disingenuous. Fuck you, dude. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't like this guy. Like, as much as he may be doing his job as a faithful, everything about him makes me ick. It's just icky. Ugh. I'm going to say this, though. I did not care for them sending Monet home. And the following day, Dorinda having the fucking gall to sit at this table and talk about Ron. You know, he's so wishy-washy. One moment, he's all quiet and this, that, and the other. And then he gets to the table and he just starts speaking. Yeah, because the fucking idea is for you to find a traitor, not to enjoy breakfast, do some challenge for money, and just be there on television. God forbid, Dorinda, that I find out that you're not on here to actually win the game, but just survive for long episodes so you can talk about it and brag amongst your housewives while you're still on pause to be for a show that is not coming back just yet, because it may come back, but it's not yet. They're still on another season of it. Are they going to call you for Ultimate Girls Trip? Are you going to make it nice? What's happening here? Jesus Christ. Misty, thank you so much for the Tiffany Poo on Venmo. Appreciate you, baby. Stay warm out there, Maddie. Thank you. I'm putting that onto the grocery budget. So whenever I do go to the grocery store, we're going to get some stuff in case the power goes out. Because y'all remember the last winter storm I had? Remember when I moved back here from Vegas and the power was out for 8 days. 8 days. No, it wasn't. It was 5 days, actually. It was not having hot water for 8 days. There we go. I was like, wait, it was no 8. It was definitely fucking a week, though. It was a week. Oh, I'll never forget that. Oh my God. Having to go to the gas stations to charge your phone and your portable banks. Oh, I don't want that again. And having to wait in a line with people to do that kind of stuff. Going into the McDonald's and it's packed. Like, yeah, Ted Cruz already left, as he did for the last winter storm and the one before that. Literally got on a flight. The same person who's like literally just like fucking up the entire, like, let me not go there, but you know what I'm talking about, like that man. And the fact that people are still, I can't get over that. I can't. It blows my mind. It's making it very scary. Very scary. But yes, Dorinda sitting here at this table talking about Miss Ron. I was like, yo, Dorinda, you just following through with the same sort of schedule and the same sort of speech that you also had. Like, you talking about Ron, but like, why does he incline to tell you more about him when y'all already have him locked in as someone who you want to go home? I'm getting tired of that. It's really getting annoying. So Colton comes to the table knowing that there's going to be some egg on his face because of the Tiffany, which again, he prepared himself for because that's what he wanted. Again, he just wanted to get her out. He's not mad that she's not a traitor, very much at all. He's more so inclined to believe like that was a lot and she kind of made me look a little silly. So I feel a little bit like an idiot right now because she kind of made me look dumb. And now she's not a traitor. So I really look dumb because, I said all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to be like nice today and do my thing. But I'm also going to still be like really like, aggressive because I'm a football player. Which one is it? Because you keep on telling me you're this when you want to be a victim and you're that when you want to be aggressive. So you pick and choose your roles. Okay, bad, cool. Got it. Anywho, Monet got eliminated, and that's because Monet's got a big mouth. As much as they read Bob for what it is, because Bob got a mouth too. Okay. Roberta got a mouth too. So is Monet. And she told the wrong person about Lisa. And it was Candace. And Lisa's scary. And Lisa also has been trying to get Black people eliminated for shows for quite some time. Ask Garcelle. So she got her little chew in. This is the closest she could get to Garcelle. I'm sorry, Monet. It had to be you. If Candace was a faithful and you were a traitor, then it would have been Candace. That probably would have got to the home sister. She would have been happy to get one housewife that's out of anybody's franchise. Woo! Never forget what that lady wore for Halloween that one year. Never forget. I hate that Candace is doing it too, but Candace is trying to play a very long game, and I cannot be mad at her right now. I cannot be mad at her right now because she's trying to play a very long game, but Monet would have kept Candace. That's the problem for Candace, and why she's sad too is like she was cool with Monet, but it's also the fact that that was a number for Candace later when we get down the road as far as people who trust her and would have been able to use Monet to keep her going in case Lisa gets eliminated or Rob gets eliminated, and then she's still good to go. Ooh. ERCOT issues weather watch from January 24th through the 27th as winter weather. Oh my God. What is oh God. I know you lying. Okay, Mama and Mina, you are not going outside Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. Y'all, the low today is the low for today was 58. And the high is like 67 today, right? Tomorrow high 70, Friday high 67. Keep going. Keep going. Saturday, it's going to rain all day. Saturday. And snow. Snowing and raining. All day Saturday. It's going to drop to 26 degrees. Then to 24. And then raise a little bit to 28 on Tuesday. And our weather won't return to somewhat normalcy until the following Wednesday. Or until this Wednesday. Yeah. Tito, tell them, honestly, Houston does not have an infrastructure when it comes to ice weather. And that applies to the power grids. It applies to everything. Dallas gets colder than us, but y'all are like designed a tad bit better than Houston when it comes to stuff like that infrastructure wise. Houston's another story. And so I am very nervous. I have children. And this is why I need my car to work because we may have to go to a hotel depending on what happens here, especially if it gets cold, bitch. And like I don't do cold weather. This is why I don't live in the low. Oh God, I'm nervous. Okay. But hopefully we won't have any issues for Friday's review for the Traitors because I will be doing episode 6 Friday. And then Drag Race, I'm gonna tell you this right now because it's gonna be on a Saturday. I'm going to be doing it early, like the 2:30, because it's going to get bad later as the day progresses and goes on. And so I'm going to try to get the review out before the power, like, boom, 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 on us here. Okay. So, like, sincerely, I will be making sure to get the reviews pumped out this weekend before hell or winter comes. There we go. But Candace, I felt your sister when we lost Monet. Now, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. A lot of people are starting to suspect Colton, and it is because they're starting to see that he likes to lead the charge. He needs to be the one to like sort of like tell you where to go. And if you give sort of something to it, he's like, no, we need to go my way, this, that, and the other. People are starting to fall in. And Michael is leading that charge from the previous day after Tiffany went home. And people can receive that. The problem is Colton saw that day, which is why, to me, Michael should have shut the fuck up and not said something at that round table and then been able to actually communicate with these people. And I know he's a shit talker, but if Michael actually calmed himself down for a moment here, because let's be real, Michael didn't say anything at that round table last week until the end when Tiffany went home. He didn't say not one word. For the first time at a round table, I was gagged. I was like, he didn't say anything. But at that last part, I was like, you need to stop. And yes, Michael, I'm going to give him credit, was right about the whole hunk thing. Y'all are enamored with them because they're attractive, and you are giving them a pass because you find them attractive. You're doing it with Rob, and you're doing it with Colton, and he's not lying. Couldn't believe it, but I was like, oh, clock. It is the truth. They flirt with them. They do the full bit in that, and that applies to both the men and the women in there, including the gay men in there, specifically the other girls. Like, you know what I'm talking about, that like that. Anywho, I was over here like, oh my God, Michael, this is crazy. But he was telling the truth. And that leads into Ron's popularity contest. That applies into it with being attractive. Ron is not atypical in that hunk meter. And so the way they're treating him does apply as well on that level, outside of what he did the first episode. It definitely adds to context. There was already he seems nice, but then he made a mistake and now we can't trust him. And now he's not talking to us and he's not being a part of the group. But do y'all allow him to be in those situations? Because a lot of the time when Ron comes in there, y'all leave. You see him come in the room, you move out the room. You don't give him a chance to do. That's why I always be like, what are y'all talking about? Like this whole, like, you don't give a chance for things. No, you've already created the narrative. You've got it. Like, what are you asking questions for? It's crazy. But Colton, again, still wants to play a hard game because he feels like he can't be touched. And that's the truth. But Ron has his people who he thinks are traitors. And he says Dorinda and Michael. And Ron for Dorinda only makes sense because Dorinda's kind of been on him like that. And also Dorinda, if we really think about it, is in a situation where she was on the show one season and then, she got eliminated early and now she's back and it's giving a very, well, I just want to be here and, I can do all that. Now I get to send people home. Like it wouldn't be too far-fetched to have Dorinda be a traitor. I would be more inclined to think Dorinda's a traitor because she's always coming for my ass at the table. Like always, like you got something to say about me, Miss Thing, but you don't even think about me during the day. Like what's happening? It's a lot to take in. Kristen. Oh, how I love thee. Kristen, who is not swayed by someone's looks and his charm and his bullshit. The way he talked about Ron was levels. Ron don't be doing shit during the challenges anyway. He's so lazy, this, that, and the other. Kristen, we're not going to say that about Ron. I've literally been on Ron's team. Ron has put in so much effort. He does a really good job and tries to make sure we get money. So yeah, we're not going to say that. Oh, I wasn't talking about him like in that sort of, I wasn't saying he was that, I wasn't saying it like that. Chris is so. Chris is so. I don't like that. And that whole analogy about chefs not realizing that they're also in a team with their sous chefs and their prep people and all that, and they get that sort of like ego mentality things. And Kristen's over here clocking it. Like he's a little too in it. He's a little bit too, the bravado is there. The whole, I'm about to talk about walking here and then say all that kind of stuff. And it's also from her having experience working with the people who she's working with and seeing everyone put effort in. And then you come in here and make a whole narrative around the man. Right. And then he leaves the room, goes in there, says all that, then gets up. It was like, what? But she got out that room quick. And when she saw Candace, she was like, get over here. You see how Candace gives like faithful. They're like, girl, we got to talk about these people. She a whole traitor. That's good for Candace. Good. We can get Colton out. Correct. She is wrong. And that's the part where people were like, well, she's not a good faithful. She's coming for Colton. No, we just don't like him. Just like we don't like Michael. Okay. And so we want Kristen to do our work to get him out because in reality, I don't want a faithful to win again. I want the traitors to win. So for me, Kristen did eat that because she's getting another faithful out. And it's a faithful I like the least. To see how that works? Yay. It makes sense now, doesn't it? We want faithfuls that we like to win, not faithfuls that we don't like to win. And we want the traitors to win because that means they did their damn job. That's why you want a traitor to win, because they get the hardest job of having to lie and not be clocked and called out, make it all the way to the end. See season 1 with Siri for a great example of how that's supposed to look like. So no, it's not as fun when the faithfuls win. And you want to know why? Ask Mercedes when it comes to CT and Trishelle. Ask her. That's why I don't like when faithfuls win, because they can end up fucking over another faithful just because they don't want to share the money. Thank you. So moving on. They have a challenge where they must go find these statues and they got to go ahead and put them on their little podiums to make this other fountain, explode blood. This is not The Shining, but it did remind me a little bit of that. I do love that movie so very much. Now, at each one of these stations, there are shield tokens, and they can take this said token and give it to whoever they want out of their group, or possibly if they have enough for the whole group, whoever gets it. The problem is that if they take a shield token, then murders will be existing for the evening and someone will have to get got who doesn't have a shield token. But if they don't take one, no one can be murdered that night. Who is the first person that said, as much as that's great, I feel like I need to make sure that it's me that gets it. Like, didn't even think about the group for 1 second. Kristen, hello. I wish she was there to hear that. You hear what I'm saying? I wish Kristen was there to hear that just so she could add it on top of like the whole factor of what she's talking about. This man is clearly not playing a team game. I was over here thinking to myself, so wait a minute, Colton, you want someone to be eliminated, but you're a faithful. How is his logic? Like, he's thinking to himself, oh, well, it's still going to get a faithful out, so it's going to get me closer to the money, which again, totally get that. But as a faithful, you're supposed to be working as a group together, not by yourself. That's why he's an op within the faithfuls. This is exactly how Zac Efron's brother was playing. Oh, that's why I didn't like him. See, this is how Trishelle was playing. Oh, that's why I didn't like her. It's not, they're not playing a game of everybody gets to take something home. They're playing a game of I'm taking something home, regardless if you're gone or not. The end. That's why I want a traitor to win. There's 3. There's 3 of them. They can split it. It's good to go. Or if one of them gets out, it's just 2. Or if there's only 1 left, Siri, bam! That. Give me, I want one for all. Give me a one for all moment with the traitor. But yes, I was just like, nah. Oh, we have the finals for UK this Friday. I need to see the UK one. I wonder if it's on Peacock. Candace is me. I know we're doing a challenge. I don't trust murky water. I literally lived in New Orleans for a little bit. I've been to Mardi Gras when it's raining. I don't trust murky water at all. I don't care if this is a challenge. They would have to tell me it is food coloring dye before I step in there. I'll act for the rest of this so that way the people at home think it's disgusting. But if you're telling me it's some gunky ass water you just got, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. I know my body, and I know I'm infection prone. So I have 1 kidney, bitch. Okay, like I'm not doing that. That's not happening. You're going to have to tell me something. I'm telling you, there would be episodes that they're going to have to just have a conversation with me, y'all. Because, like, that you didn't want to do the challenge. I didn't want, listen, I love my soft hands. I know certain people that loved my soft hands and want to have them still be like that. No shade. So, like, hot potato, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I could help you at the table. Can we do a challenge where we walk around and like move objects? That's different. But like water and dirty water. Does it have a smell? I'm one of them people. I literally just had a whole situation with the septic tank over here. What you want? No, I'm Candace. Hell no. Ew, gross. Okay. This, I thought, hey, you're carrying these statues back and forth. I can only assume that they're not literally made from stone because that would be ridiculous. Let's be clear. You know, they're definitely not made from stone. I'm not stupid. I'm watching this like, y'all are not picking up stone statues. That's yeah, no. You're not. They look like that, but they're not. I'm sure they were light and hollow and you were just having to carry them. Now, when we get towards the end of this and there's like 2 statues left, they weren't taking the shields for the first go. Everyone was being cool about it. But then they started putting all the shields that weren't taken into like the last 2 spots. And so there's 8 shields. And it's like 4 apiece for all 4 of the people there, and then 4 for the other group. We do not know if they took the tokens. They won't tell us. But Colton wanted to badly. And I can only assume either he got his way on this because Candace was going to use this later as leverage to say he's not a good faithful and he was only thinking of himself, which would be a very smart move to do if she allowed him to do this and then played the game of, I didn't want to, but Colton's very convincing. That could happen to where the traitors could still have a murder for the night. And then Colton feels like he's on to someone who he's already on to Lisa, but then Lisa gets to flip it on him at the table. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I was like, if they took him, it's going to work for the traitors, but they got to lock in. Lisa's got to lock in and be ready to argue. Candace has to lock in and get ready to play victim, as well as like, I didn't want to, but we ended up doing it. And whoever else was in the group with them, they're gonna have to talk to be like, did you want to do that? Because I wasn't trying to like anybody over. You know what I mean? As like really think about that. Colton is a better traitor than the traitor. Oh my goodness. I just need him to get, like, he's not getting any, like, repercussions for his actions like Ron is, and that's what's pissing me off. Like, imagine you are literally leading the charge and being wrong every time, but you're getting a pat in the back versus the other person who is literally being ostracized and made to feel so very low, and your excuse is because he won't tell you who his fucking family is? That's crazy to me. That sounds like some shit that's happening right now. to be very honest with you. And you can, oh, Matthew, no. In a micro way, yes, it sounds very much like that because you don't know where their family is from. You're going to judge them. Oh, 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 oh. The way I would be maneuvering through this and not thinking to myself, gee, that guy didn't tell me about his mom's like first, miscarriage and his dad, beating him every night. So he must be a traitor. I don't know how many brothers or sisters Tina has, but she's totally going to be a traitor because she wouldn't tell me. That's such traitor behavior. Me not knowing where her address is or her cell phone number or the last 4 digits of her social. So fucking stupid. It's like, you haven't made no effort. You hang around people that smell like mothballs, Dorinda. So what are you talking about? Mothballs and dry martinis. The other group on over here, they also got the shields, but it's a decision that needs to be made. Michael don't want to do it. Dorinda's like, well, I don't know. Johnny, whatever y'all want to do. Where Natalie is like, well, I don't know if y'all are who these other people are. So like, what are we doing here? So this is the 4 that we see from this group. We have the Colton, Candace, Lisa, and I forget who else was with them at that point for that group. But like, that's how it's kind of set up with those are the 8 people who could possibly have the shields. Possibly. No one else would get it but those 4. And if they use the shields, someone will be murdered this upcoming Thursday episode. If they didn't, no one can be, and the game will continue differently. But you know damn well that if no one gets murdered, Alan's going to do something crazy for the next one. Like, if no one goes, it's going to be like, well, guess we're going to have to do something kind of double-ish, if you will. And you're going to have to give 2 people's names. Imagine that, giving 2 people's names at a round table. Gag. Gag. Chaos. They were able to successfully get all of the statues and get all of the prize money, but Alan won't tell them if someone has used the shield or not. Dorinda was enjoying her meal until Dorinda was enjoying her meal until Ron walked into the room, to where she asked simply, how's it going? After staring at him like he was crazy. Ron was staring at her too. Steven was trying to eat his food. This was extremely uncomfortable. And Ron tells Dorinda straight to her face, I think you're a traitor. And then says, I'll present some facts when we get to the round table. And where Dorinda then, in her glory of defensiveness, I think you're a housewife hunter. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Yeah, we will. I was like, that's going to be a really boring one when we get to it, but okay. We get back here. They're just having a random conversation, y'all, about getting people out. Michael sits down. I really hope y'all were paying attention. This is why I don't like Colton. Michael gives this like full little like rendition of what he thinks the traitors are thinking. And he's doing it in a sense of like just like breaking the tension in the room because everybody's talking about it. I can see what Michael is doing. Okay. Colton takes this opportunity and just randomly asks a question. It was unprompted and it was out of nowhere. He goes, Michael, what kind of colored coats do y'all wear in the turret? Or what is Alan wearing when y'all are in the turret? There we go. What is Alan wearing when he's in the turret? Just ask straight up like that. And then Michael's like, again, like, what? And then laughs. And then just continues on with his whatever, to which, why are you not answering the question? And Ron, yeah, why are you not answering the question? And it's very, because I know what you're doing. So like, why would I play with you? I know what you're doing. And to this is being Colton doing his little, I just jabbed you, but now I'm going to play this back. Oh, well, we were supposed to ask questions and we're supposed to do this, that, and the other. And I just was asking you this question. I wasn't taking it. You're taking it really seriously. So that must mean you're a traitor, right? Is that what you're saying? And then like trying to like flip it back on Michael. And that shit was wild to me, bro. I don't even fucking like Michael, okay? But what Colton did was what he was going to do from the jump. And he was waiting on that. And that was set up the moment that Michael Rappaport, the previous episode, after Tiffany went home under Colton's hand, as he wanted her to go home, regardless if she was a traitor or not, and he got called out for it, he was ready to attack Michael. And he knew exactly how to do it because Michael is reactive and not responsive. He is not a responder. He is a reactor. So Michael is not going to think before he speaks. He's just going to say whatever's going to come out because that's how he feels, and he feels hurt and jaded and da-da-da-da-da and all that kind of stuff. And this is why it blew my mind that I started having to defend Michael in a sense, because I'm watching this go down. And because now Michael is in a tizzy and he's going from room to room and going Colton and Colton and Colton, it just makes you look crazy because they already felt a ways about you. And now Colton looks like the fucking deer that just got hit by a car that needs to survive. And these people just had to stop and get them on the side. How dare we do all this? It's very that. And he played it perfectly. And he even told us as we were going to the round table that he's going to let Michael do all the work. And that's just what his plan was. And that's how he's doing this. This man is mad manipulative. I don't like it. Even if he's not a traitor, in this moment right here at this table, Michael Rappaport and Colton are staring each other down. Did y'all see that? Like, they're staring each other down. Like, Michael wanted to call him every name under the sun. I don't even blame him. I'd have called him, Michael, you could have gave me permission. I'd have called it for you. I'd have called him that for you. He hasn't been called that word enough for me to sit up here and act the way he does. He's new to this. Okay, so all that bullshit, this table right here, and all these people coming to his defense, suck my left nut, because I'm over here watching this going, wow, 2025 is probably when this was filmed. Wow. Like he went through it or something with money in the NFL, playing football and all that kind of stuff, under what other privilege that he has that we can just add to the board. I thought that was ridiculous. When others, like myself, who also had to play that game, believe it or not, even who were clockable, who still had to deny those things because we didn't have those choices because people were threatening us or however. That's why I don't, Colton Wade do. Ooh. Yeah, I do a civilian season. I do a civilian season. Absolutely. I'm trying not to go off because I was just really mad at how he like manipulated that and turned it back on Michael, and the room fed into it because it was easy to do because they all like Colton, and it has to do again with the privilege that he places in that. But him being coddled for that kind of like moment from Michael, wild, should never have happened. Candace wants to keep it cute and keep it on the same sort of path here. We going for Ron. That's who I want to go for. But then Michael pops in and he goes for Colton, and that's where it's at because Colton tried him in the kitchen. And so now Michael is going to look crazy because he's just going to go off on Colton. And that's just how that went down. And so Colton knew this and played his card very well. He kept it very much on that level of Michael's attacking me and I'm a gay and this is crazy. I mean, I just came out, y'all. Okay. Like I didn't go on a show and lie to you about who I was because, I was scared because I'm the only person who's ever been through this and did it television wise. Totally that guy. Yeah, I promise you. I was in football. I did get paid a lot of money. I had a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I still have money and I'm still good. And I get to do what I want really still. Yeah. I didn't like what came out of Michael's mouth, but I know Michael's intentions weren't where Colton was taking it, and Colton weaponized it. And that's why I was pissed. as someone who has actually lived through some real ass shit of being outed and being homeless, okay, and having to pick the fucking pieces up and still somehow coming back to a family that did me dirty and still being able to say I love them. He needs to really run up and talk about that kind of shit before you up in here do this whole I just came out a couple of motherfucking weeks ago, bitch. And now I'm this new sort of supreme sissy over here. And everything that everybody says is making me like, you can't talk about me, girl. You like I said, you ain't been called the F slur enough yet. You have not been targeted enough yet to have this kind of smoke in this room. And for everybody here that was trying to come up on Michael, you didn't like him. Just like I don't like Michael. I can't stand that man. I can't stand him from outside of the show and his views on certain things that are real twisted. But I watched someone play the perfect position here of victim. And the smugness behind his face is what made it even worse for me. He took a fool's words and he weaponized them, and the fool could do nothing but grovel afterwards and even didn't even know what the fuck he was saying. Again, Michael is a reactor and not a responder. Commiserate? Are you joking me? Commiserating somebody? You do sound stupid because you were just looking for words and they were just coming to your head. Reactor. And again, Colton weaponized his stupidity. He weaponized his sexuality against Michael, who made a off-the-cuff comment that does not apply to the situation, but could, in a sense, in reference to he's good at holding a secret. And then it was blown out of proportion because Michael is that kind of person who's been offending people already, and he was able to take advantage of that. That is what happened. I am a full-time bent wrist platinum member, okay? I've taken, hey, let me not give you my full story, but papa-do-do-do-do-do. I know a Colton girl, and I've seen them out in the streets. Trust me, they exist. Colton's been doing it, and he's still going to keep on doing it until he has that one reality check. And because of the privilege that he carries, he won't be having that reality check for quite some time and may just walk into his natural truth, being this kind of girl. Not to say that I want to say that Michael Rappaport is a good person, because the fuck he's not. Rhymes with ionist. But I will say this. He wasn't lying about Colton. And that's what the problem is with Colton. Colton, I should like you as a faithful for doing your job. It is the way you carry yourself that makes you so unlikable. I felt the same way about the same pretty privileged motherfucker that was Zac Efron's brother. Just because he doesn't look like a Minecraft character like his older doesn't mean anything else. But because you feel that you are in the position that you're in and that you came from the show that it was and that you were in such a hard time, you have not heard, felt, breathed, lived anything of the queer experience in the hardest of times. You're still working off of the straight privilege that you had when you were on The Bachelor, that you had when you were in football, that you have from the way that you carry yourself and the way that you look. If you think I want to give you a gold prize because you give mask for mask, girl, fuck off. Because I know some punks with some bit wrists and some arch backs that would tear you loose, Miss Girl. Didn't even matter if you were in football or not. You need to figure out what the fuck you want to be, Miss Thing. Because right now you're walking around here with an identity crisis that you want us all to solve for you because you're so cute. That has been sitting on my spirit for a very long time. I want you to know this. I love you all. But that has been sitting on my spirit. And I watched these episodes, man, and I was like, I have her figured out. And it's because I know a bunch of people just like him. And that's why I'm speaking on it. She don't support the T. Them kind. Yeah. Wants to use the community, but don't want to include the community. It's giving. It's giving. A lot of people have been like, where has Matty been? He don't go in like he used to. I hope you felt all of it in that last little run, okay? I've had time to think on that. Dinda and Ron here. You know, Ron wants to throw in this situation or whatever with Dinda and the housewife hunter, and Dinda try to make it a very personal thing to Ron about him you come here and you give this act and you portray yourself to be so meek and so small. Colton is right there. But you don't see that because, he's so cute, right? Blonde, just like you. Blue eyes, Dorinda? What? I'll keep going. You need to know about Ron's family for what? You don't make yourself available. Lies. I've seen him walk around the house. We literally are watching the television show, right? We have seen Ron talking to people, or at least attempting to, haven't we? Because I've seen it. And again, and that's the thing, Gregory. Oh, Gregory, don't you get me started on that and how they're trying to make that the whole, well, he didn't know. He knew, girl. They all do. As someone who plays with DL, he knew. As someone who is entire group, bitch, a part of the dichotomy outside of me being Matty-Rants and who be trying to holler at me is a part of that subscription service of kind of, out in the field game. They love your boy over here. So I know the game. That's why I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You just got over your lie earlier than others, while others are still married and have kids and are still out there plowing and dowing. You couldn't take it no more because you wanted to live in your truth as a full-time sis. That's cute, girl. That's fine. But now we're all supposed to bend backwards for you? Fuck out of here for that. Baby, you better hop on in. It's a little, this ain't the 90s or the 80s, and certainly not where it was. You definitely have some privileges coming out into this universe. So not to take it away from you, but the way you're utilizing it now, I don't like. But to Dorinda, again, Dorinda is trying to make this on some personal shit, and the internet, as far as housewives are concerned, are very much on the attack. I mean, it's definitely their brand. But like Ron, when he said what he said to Dorinda, woo! Ron's reasoning for going after Dorinda is very much inclined with Dorinda always having something to say about him at every round table, but never actually attempting to speak to him. That's why that went down. Ron's reasoning for Dorinda is dumb because it is very, you always talking about me, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and of course you would take it out of the housewife. It is what it is, right? But Dorinda only speaks when it's Ron. And she rarely gives that input when it comes to other people as far as like how they act, this, that, and the other. Okay. She really want to have her case for this man. And she likes to always go. And I know this because we just had her do the same thing on episode 4 in a different outfit. I don't know your family. It's like, you don't even want to like talk to me. Is it you? Is it him or you? But when Ron finally says, I don't need to tell you anything about my fucking family, I felt that in my spirit. And the way he laid out, just because I don't talk to y'all like that, doesn't mean I'm not in this game playing a game. I'm trying to find these people just like you. And if I were to give you my information and I don't want to play that way, it's because I feel like it gives a bias. And then people don't want to actually vote for someone or take them out because they know them so well. And he's right. He's right. He's right. It does create a bias because y'all have gotten so close together. So you're even more shocked. She's the traitor? He's the traitor? I wouldn't believe we were friends. We were just talking because you created a bias around creating a friendship with that person. As important as a social game is in this kind of game, it's also about doing too much sometimes that'll get you got. He's not wrong. He is wrong about his, deductions on who is a traitor, but he's not wrong in this moment. And that's why I was so confused with how angry people were getting at him on behalf of Dorinda. But then I remember these are Housewives fans. There's always a bias that goes into place. A bias because they know Dorinda. They don't know Ron. See, Ron, I came back. I was not a fan, and I was still mad at you for the first couple episodes. But after seeing how they are stringing you along, And I love when he was like, at some point, y'all are just going to have to either just like vote me out or what, because we can't just do this every round table. And the idea is that people are already vocally saying, Ron is just a scapegoat for the traitors. So then why the fuck are you keeping him? And why are you just not sending him home, knowing he's a faithful, knowing the traitors are keeping him? He could be a traitor, just like you say as well. What is wrong with you people? It's getting a little scary. Candace keeps her foot on that neck. But after Michael said his little comment about Colton and keeping secrets, we now have a whole bunch of Colton defenders on behalf of our new queer, and we need to make sure that he's going to be okay, because he's definitely feeling it after that. Poor Colton. The man who doesn't know if he wants his sexuality to be his personality or his previous time in football to be that. I don't know. I don't know what we want to do. I don't know what we want to do today. But I will say this. I was tired of Michael as well. I couldn't stand Michael either. So fuck Michael, but like fuck Colton too. I couldn't stand both of them. I can't stand them both. Send them both home. Send them both home. But Michael wasn't wrong. He was wrong for how he opened his mouth and he just tried to go blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you shouldn't have said shit. But hey, you know, because you're Michael Rappaport, and I want to be a housewife. I'm a Housewives fan. If anybody doesn't want to see nobody go home, it's me, Michael Rappaport from New York. That's not a cold sore. I'm Michael Rappaport. That is Michael Rappaport ass. Okay. You know, Kenya, I couldn't believe what that, but poor, shut your fucking ass up. Grown white man in black women's business, motherfucker. Boo, 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 Michael, boo. Boom. But Colton, you are getting all kinds of side eyes because a lot of the things you've done, the way you have framed yourself, the way you're playing your position, you are not giving faithful. You're giving, I hate faithfuls and I just want to win myself. This ain't a group project. I just need y'all to go along with what I want to do. And then if you're not doing that, then I'm going to call you out and say you're a traitor. Or if I think you're smarter than me, you're a traitor. If I think you may be a threat to me, traitor. Versus actually any information. The one time he was on, it was Donna, but then we all were on Donna. I love how Dorinda also assumed that Ron watched her show and she did the same thing with Bob. I just need y'all to recognize that too. That kind of behavior is weird to me. Johnny Weir, as wrong as you were, but also as right as you are in this moment when you said, I don't even care who's right and who's wrong. I don't even care. Like it was very, I'm not even voting on traitors right now. I just don't like Michael. I don't know why that this was so funny to me, but it just gave me right in this little green fucking sweater cowl moment. It was so funny to me. It was just like, I don't even know. I don't even care. It could be Ron. It could be this. But you know what, Michael? I'm just going to write your name out because I just need you out of my house. I just need you out. You're doing too much. I don't know why that was so funny. Michael Rappaport said he was the best looking. Okay, let's be real. Michael is the hunk bit. Yes, you are right about that, but let's also be clear, you're insecure that you are not blessed with any sort of good features or looks. You are insecure around other men who also exude more masculinity than you. You are also insecure around people whose personalities are bigger than yours and who are more likable than yours. You are one of those people who exists in a room to where if no one's focused on you and someone's getting more attention than you, then you want the attention to get to you. You almost have a humiliation kink, if you will. I know somebody who is literally a YouTuber, literally that enjoys that and knows that and then tries to weaponize it and turn it around on people like they're just being phobic about something. But it's like, no, baby, you get off on that kind of weird shit. Okay? You were right on the money about people's personalities, in particular with Colton and some other folks. But when I tell you, you were like off the walls wrong on so many other levels, and it just got really annoying. And the thing is that Michael, like outside the show, the stuff that you believe, I think you're a terrible person. So I was not sad to see you go. like in any means necessary. I would like to see less of you on my television screen. The only time I'm agree with you is how you handled Colton in the sense, not in what you said, but the initial take of it all. But your fucking mouth got your ass out, and that should be the last time a casting director calls you for anything. If you want to put him on House of Villains, sure, but please make sure that you put in their contracts that they can fight physically. Thanks. All right, because you're gonna see that man can't fight, but he likes to talk. Yes, Ashraf, like you, if you are aware of him and his feelings and thoughts about stuff, yeah, he's not nice. He's not a good person, like at all. But Candace, Michael's gone. It is what it is. Colton, once again, wrong about somebody, but they had to get Michael out. He walks around, hey, everybody. Oh, Colton, are you okay? Yeah, I know. It was really tough. Like, this boy literally is in high school, junior high, getting picked on by somebody. Like, he went through a whole lot. Be very fucking serious right now. And so he goes from his little victim bit. You guys, let's just stay focused. It's okay. Because, again, he wasn't really offended by what Michael said. Like, there was no like real time, y'all, let's stay focused here, because he didn't really get got like that. You played that for the cameras. Be for real. Be for real. Be for real. To then go, hey, Dorinda, can we talk about Lisa? I thought that was wild. As someone who was really got hurt like that over somebody literally clocking their T's over you coming out, you would think there'd be some more time for you to take a moment to breathe. But you immediately go into gameplay. As somebody who has been picked on, teased, and of course attacked, and honestly followed home at one point in time, Colton, I did think that was kind of wild as a newbie to this world, that you really didn't take time to really like invest in your feelings that way. You were immediately back into a game. So it's almost as if what was said actually wasn't that big of a deal to you. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, let's all focus, because that wasn't that big of a deal apparently to Colton. Everybody else was. But Dorinda, what do you think about Lisa? Isn't she kind of quiet? Do you know Lisa for being quiet? Dorinda being dummy. No, I don't know Lisa for being quiet. Yeah, that's crazy to me, because like I think Lisa is someone like me, like really like down for it and getting people out and not caring what people think. Like I would think that Lisa would be playing this game with me. Tiffany. This is where the women part comes in. Because I can go black woman and we can do that with Tiffany, but this is where the women part comes in with Colton. This is where it comes in. Mind you, Caroline was his partner, and she got put on the block and was exterminated. Then you got Tiffany, who you led the charge to get out, and now we're on to Lisa, who he's actually on the right track, because Lisa was acting a little suspicious. But isn't it weird and isn't it wild that we're on episode 5 and Lisa was doing shit weird on episode 3 going into 4? And so his lock was others, while at the same time, you didn't even have all the information on Tiffany, but went for it. You had more on Lisa to work with than you did on Tiffany, but you made Tiffany the priority target. Isn't that wild? Like, I thought that was wild to me. Michael then became your objective versus it being someone who you really need to go for, because Michael clocked you for wanting to lead the charge in all of these things. And you didn't like that. And so now Michael is your main mission. And you said, I'm just going to make him do that because I know he's reactive. You know how to manipulate people. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. People with pretty privilege do that. Manipulate those around them they don't find to be as intelligent, because they know that they have an attraction to them and they can get away with what they want. A lot of people in the community do that, because they know how very hard pressed some of these people are out here, and they'll pay egads of money just to have someone let them touch them. But I'll be quiet. Continuing on here, Rob is in the room, and isn't it lovely how Rob is always there for the right time, with the right moment? And the way Rob played this was everything. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. Don't even say nothing right now, because he's talking to Dorinda. He's not talking to you. He's talking to Dorinda. and you let Dorinda have everything that she's got to say, and you let Colton do what he's going to do. And now Rob gets to let that conversation play out in full, and then he gets to take the full story back. Didn't get up and walk away, didn't leave the room in the little half. I need to hear the whole thing. What? That's crazy. Really? Just sitting over there. Now Colton lets Lisa know. I mean, Colton got the mix. Rob lets Lisa know that Colton is suspicious of her, and then brings in Dorinda and plays the whole thing back to her. Now, wouldn't it be wild if Lisa Rinna didn't want to still take out Colton when Monet had Lisa's name in their mouth and Lisa made sure that they were eliminated? The problem is there were multiple people in the room when that conversation was happening. So they're going to have to get him at the round table. You can't get Colton in the mud, or you can't. You have to get him at the round table. Because if he gets taken out in a mud, they'll know he was always the faithful, and then the narrative gets turned into, oh my God, he was always trying to be helpful. Nope. Because you now have Kristen, who's already talked to Candace about the way Colton is acting. You now have Rob, who has sat there and listened to his whole bit. Don't worry about me, you guys. Let's focus on it. So, Dorinda, do you think Lisa, watch that all go down? And Lisa's not there for that, but now she's hearing it, and she's a woman of vengeance. So now it's we got to play a game, and we got to get Colton out, but we got to do this the right way. So if they can murder, they're going to need to take somebody out that's not related to Dorinda or Colton. That's that. The round table, go for Colton. Dorinda as fodder for Ron. Because Ron already put Dorinda's name in there. Dorinda can take a little bit of the smoke. She'll get really emotional. Everyone will feel bad and take the heat off of her. Colton cannot win over Dorinda's tears. She wins by an AARP card too. Hello. And what happened to her? And then, mind you, Ron can still be used as fodder in this because they still think he's a traitor. Oh, stay with me. Colton could still be the main vote, but Ron could be the secondary because they're like, Colton was using Ron this whole time. Oh my God, they're so wait. Oh, get me on the show. Get me on this show. Lisa is either going to get got or they're going to get Colton, but she's going to have to play it smart. That's the tea. She's going to have to play that smart because she can easily be gotten right now. Very much so if she does not play the game correctly here. And they allow this to happen. But if the traitors are so smart, they're going to get Colton out. And the thing is that I want them to do this because guess what? It goes right back to Lisa again. It's still not on Rob. It's still not on Candace. It's a little more on Rob than Candace because Rob was in the room when Colton was at the conversation with Dorinda. So there's that. But Candace wasn't there for that. And I told you I want a traitor to win, but I'm just saying there is a lot of different routes that can be taken here. But they got to get Colton out, and Lisa needs to worry about her shit. And if Lisa gets taken out, Colton has to go next if the traitors are going to stay. That's the way this got to go. They can't let what happened to the Efron brother happen with Colton because that's what happened when Efron got carried through, girl. Carried through. Nope. Don't do that again. Don't let the face and this is all whatever. Nope. Don't do that. Don't let it happen. So we shall see. that was also something that, they were talking about was really odd when she made that decision, and Lisa doing it, saying she doesn't want to look suspicious, when in reality it should have been the "we housewives got to stick together" bit, and that would have made her look even more genuine than her just following along with the group. Her doing that in the moment gave more disingenuous, because why are you following along with the group when you don't even know these people and you know your housewife sisters? Baby, the brain needs to work. The brain needs to work. I was not trying to do a 2-hour video. I totally said I could get this done in an hour, but hell, that lie was wrapped in gold. I'd be a great trader, because look at that. You ended up at the end of the video. See? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here and showing your support. It's your boy Matty-Rants. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. Hit that like button and make sure you share and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and get in the comment section. I again will tell you, as passionate as I was today, that this program is for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to malign any religion, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs, and nobody needs to get defensive about it, including myself. All opinions expressed by Matty-Rants are just solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every human on the planet, and no hate should be sent to any of the shows or individuals mentioned in this program. Grab your libations. You saw that this was 2 hours, so yeah, but we are landing the plane now, so go ahead and make sure that you put your tray tables up. Thank you so much for flying Matty-Rants Airlines, and we hope you choose us again. In front of your seats, you may find a little pamphlet that talks about our flyer rewards program. That would be for $1 a month on Patreon through the Flyers Reward Program. And if you wanted to join, then you could. I'm just kidding. But thank you so much for being here today. I'll be at a good time. Listen, if you want to drop a little love in my jar, please and thank you. A winter storm do approach, and I still got to get a battery. And I'm nervous about that because YouTube still doesn't pay me. What the fuck? Please and thank you is paypal.me/Matty-Rants, Cash App $924, and Matty-Rants. Didn't even know so long ago. Those were good 2 episodes. I think an hour a pop, 2 hour live. It makes sense. You know what I mean? But we will be back here Friday. As you know, we no longer have what was on Thursdays? Canada's Drag Race on right now. So we'll be covering Traitors on Friday. So I will see you again around the same time. Same time. How many points for a Catty Rants pledge? Hold on, let me see what the live chat, because I forget. I can't see it on my StreamYard, but I can see it when I pull up YouTube. Whenever there is a live chat, the person with the most points, there's normally like an experience like bar, like level up. Let me see here. Okay, wait a minute. So right now, oh snap. So Bravo to God is number 1 currently with 225 experience points. Misty Blue is number 2. And number 3 is the Great Cornholio with one of my favorite characters from Bob's Burgers, Marshmallow, who is a supreme. Stop, you're making me blush. Oh, no, it was just blush. Wait, hi, Marshmallow. When they were at the Christmas thing, and then Bob sees Marshmallow in the crowd, Marshmallow was like, don't call me, bitch. Don't let them know I know you, girl. I loved it. Followed by Soulful Dog in 4th place. And they have you tired here with Tito Burrito and Sabi Kim as well. So that's great. Thank y'all for being here today. And for those of you who commented, you definitely do show up in the top fans. I was like trying to let it be seen. Okay, here we go. Yay, there we go. Uh-oh, Tito trying to come up with it. Come on, oop. Tito, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Wait, does that add more points? I have to see if that does. I would and Tito Burrito is now at number 1. That was so stupid. I'm upset. I can't like literally jump for his spot. I love y'all. Please just know that. I love y'all. This is why It may be really tough right now, and your boy's looking for extra work, and we're still doing things. But these kind of moments right here, I swear, they fill my tank up. That was so funny to me. I was like, if it refreshes and he's number one, I'm going to pee. Oh, that was great. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Take care. I'll see you Friday. Oh, well, I'll see you tomorrow on Patreon, but I'll see you Friday for the review for Traitors. Saturday, hopefully the storm isn't going to be too bad by the time I do my review, because the weekend's going to be tough. But I'll keep y'all up to date on what's going on, and hopefully we get enough cointadas for this battery before Saturday. And I get to the grocery store and I'm able to get enough for the kids, because I gotta go buy them like the things of cat food. I should just go to PetSmart because it's cheaper there. We'll see. We'll figure that out. But I got to make sure I get the kids together. Anywho, love you. Take care. Had a great time today. And again, the Traitors. It's on Peacock. Enjoy it. It's a good show. And catch the other variations from different regions and locations as well. It's a great competition show. Whether you take it too personal or not, it's television and we all are just here to enjoy it. So I'll see you for the next one. Oh, and Colton's still trash. And so is Michael. Listen. Yeah.